This video is all about the 13-4. If you find that you have that in your soul contract chart. Now we'll start with the number 13. It is a mother letter and a master letter. So there's only 3 mother letters. It's just the 1, 13, and 21. And then it's also a master letter. So it's going to be really powerful. Not only is it powerful from just being a mother letter, but it's going to be powerful either really positively or really negatively. And if you find that you have a 13 in a karmic area, then it's going to take extra work for you to move that into the positive just because it has that master letter also associated with it. So remember, there's only 3 mother letters. It's 1, 13, and 21. And if you have one of these numbers in your chart, you have access to divine power. It's just how do you access that? So with the 1, remember, that's divine masculine. And you need to access divine power with that one, you need to dissolve your ego. And that's how you move it into the positive. And with the 13, it's about going really deep, like accessing that part of your psyche where all the negativity is and really getting in there and engaging with it. And then wisdom comes from that. So it's accessing that wisdom. That's the goal, or the, how you want to transform the 13. And the planet that's associated with the 13 is Neptune. So think of like water energy and spiritual, sensitive. It's, again, the female expression of God. Very attuned to the collective. And just because this number is very feminine and soft, it's also very powerful. So just like the number 13, over time has really gotten a bad rap, Friday the 13th, or some buildings don't have a 13th floor, but the 13 is the feminine. That's like the divine feminine. And so we're going to go back to celebrating the 13 instead of trying to avoid it, because it is really wisdom through connecting to your feminine and going deep. Just think of like, again, water, right? You're going to have to go deep into the waters. But once you go down there, then that's where the wisdom comes from. Some things, if you have it in a karmic aspect, could be escapism. You could be irresponsible. You don't commit to anything. And you think of only yourself and you neglect the needs of others, especially children, which is interesting because the number 4, which we'll talk about in a minute, is that number that there's already did a video on there about. That's the one where children come into play on that one too. You could, if it's in a karmic area, instead of being, open and loving with that feminine energy, your heart's closed off and you have like a tough outer exterior. But in a talent, like if it's in a talent area, you are soft and loving, think of that mother energy. You're the soft place for people to land, but you don't have to force it or anything. You're just waiting, and they come to you when they need that soft place to land. So think of it like, if it's in a karmic aspect, you could be the one that's lost. But if it's in a talent area, you're the one that is there. You're the one providing that soft place to land for people who are lost. The number 4, you can watch the full video on that, but just really quick, the number 4 is a double letter, meaning you're moving from barren to fruitful. So this one is about, you could have unplanned children because you could be selfish and your soul wants you to experience what it's like to share yourself with someone else unconditionally. And the more you trust and the more you share, the more will come to you. So this could be like kind of a number that is very abundant for you if you can move it to the positive. But it's, if it's in a negative area, then you don't trust, you're very insecure, and then abundance could be a challenge for you. If you have a 13-4, so we'll put them together now. If you have a 13-4 in a karmic area in your chart, then you don't have any self-worth, you don't accept yourself, and you need to tap into that like maternal feminine energy within you and the universe. And when you do that, you're going to learn how to protect others, because that's the goal of this number 2, is protecting others. And if it's in a karmic area, you may have children and they may be unplanned, because that's how you're going to learn how to do this. And also, you may not think you are worthy when it comes to receiving love. So that could be something else that happens if it's in a karmic area. If it's in a talent area, the 13-4, then the 13 just draws people to you, and then the 4 gives you that ability to share with those people. So again, you're that safe place for them to land, and they can go out and take risks or do things that are difficult, because they know that if they run into something hard or tough, or they need you, that you're going to be there with welcoming arms, and then they can always come back to you, and you can take care of them. They can feel that unconditional love from you. And a goal of the 13-4 is you are here, like I said earlier, you're here to help people in need. So you're not the lost one, you're there to help people who are lost. And also, just like the number 1 mother letter, you need to balance your masculine and feminine sides. So the goal of both of these numbers is that balance of masculine and feminine. And if you have it in a soul destiny, it's like the goals, but you are helping people in greater numbers. So maybe it's not just like your children or something like that. These are like larger groups of people that are lost that now can come to you and get that unconditional love. Some things you can do for like to support your 13-4 if it's in a karmic area or goal or soul destiny, or if you do need to just develop more of the talent aspects of it, is this is all about your heart. This is about opening up your heart. So as you open your heart, that feminine energy strengthens, and you're not going to be able to help others in need unless you're tapped into that loving and feminine energy. Because if it's in a karmic area, then you're kind of selfish. It's the opposite of helping people. So in order to get to that, you have to tap into that feminine energy. So you could try Reiki or Qigong, could be helpful with the heart chakra, and you could even place like a rose quartz on your heart while you're relaxing, to try to help activate this energy. And then, because both of these numbers are really involved with children, just playing with children, like getting down on their level, engaging joyfully with them, as joyfully as they are, right, goes a long way to really moving this energy into the more positive. And you can again, this will be in the 4 video, but some things to help with that 4 energy is, in addition to like the children, playing with the children, you need to start taking some small steps to connect to God and the universe, because you may have trouble thinking there's a connection. Like I said before, that whole, you may be really abundant or not abundant at all, and it kind of depends on how you feel or what you think is possible when it comes to this connection to God and the universe. So start really noticing like some signs, They could be really small at first, but just if you see a sign, then take a step if it feels right. And then once you start taking these small steps based on these signs you're getting, then you can start confirming that yes, God is there for me, the universe is supporting me, and then you can move on to bigger things. And then eventually you'll have total faith that you are being taken care of. And you also might try like group therapy or activities, because the 4, if it's in a karmic area, you might think that there's something wrong with you. So, in a safe group activity, you could learn how to share more of yourself and not worry about not being accepted. The number 4 also has, you could be, if it's in a karmic area, you could be really hard on the planet. So you may want to make sure that you are developing that relationship with nature, like gardening or just, spending time in nature or getting into the flow of nature. So just be aware of that if it's in a karmic area. If you don't know what numbers are in your soul contract chart, the link to my website is in the description. If you want to go there, I can teach you how to do that there, or I can do it. I can calculate it for you and provide you with a full reading. And then if you do calculate it, all of the numbers are there if you want to read about that on my website. And then also there's a video here on YouTube that will show you how to calculate your numbers too. And then I have most numbers up here now, but I'm still working on that. And eventually all the numbers will be here on YouTube. So you can watch those videos too when you get your chart calculated.